Imagine waking up one morning and looking out your window, and seeing two suns rising on the horizon. Not one. Two. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but what if it were real? What if Earth didn't orbit a single star, but two? What would happen to our days, our nights, our seasons, and ultimately, to life itself? Let's find out. First, we need to understand what kind of two-sun system we're actually talking about. In astronomy, a system with two stars is called a binary star system. They're not rare at all. In fact, roughly half of all star systems in the Milky Way are binary or multi-star systems. So the universe clearly has no problem with this idea. The question is whether a planet like Earth could survive inside one. There are two main possibilities. In the first scenario, Earth orbits both stars together from far away. This is called a circumbinary orbit. In the second, Earth orbits just one star closely while the second star is a distant companion. Both setups come with very different consequences, and both are absolutely wild to think about. Let's start with the circumbinary setup, Earth looping around both suns at once. The most immediate change you'd notice is the sky. Depending on the positions of the two stars, you might see one large sun and one smaller, dimmer companion. Or two suns of similar size blazing side by side. Shadows would split in two different directions. During certain times of day, you'd cast two shadows at once. Artists and photographers would have a field day, and then probably a breakdown. But here's where it gets complicated. Two stars don't stay still relative to each other. They orbit their shared center of mass. That means the amount of light and heat hitting Earth would constantly fluctuate. Some days, both suns would be on the same side of the sky, and temperatures could spike dramatically. Other times, they might be on opposite sides, meaning there's almost no true night. You'd essentially have an eternal, shifting twilight during certain orbital periods. Seasons as we know them would be obliterated. Our seasons on Earth come from our axial tilt and our stable orbit around one predictable star. In a binary system, the gravitational tugging from two stars would make Earth's orbit less stable over long timescales. It could stretch, wobble, or shift, dragging Earth in and out of the habitable zone. 1 century you're lush and green. A few thousand years later, you're a frozen wasteland. Now here's a question that keeps astrophysicists up at night. Could life even get started in the first place? Actually, maybe yes. Scientists have discovered real planets orbiting binary stars. The most famous is Kepler 16b, nicknamed Tatooine after the Star Wars planet Luke Skywalker grew up on. It's a real world, orbiting two real suns. It exists in the outer habitable zone of its system. It's probably a cold gas planet and not home to any moisture farmers, but it proves that circumbinary planets are physically possible. For a true Earth-like twin in a binary system to support life, the orbital dynamics would have to be just right. The two stars would need to be close enough together that Earth's orbit around both of them remains stable. Too far apart, and Earth gets gravitationally destabilized. Too close together, and you've basically got one very hot, irregular star. Now let's flip to the second scenario, Earth orbiting one star, with a second star as a distant companion. This is actually more stable, and potentially more hospitable. Imagine our own sun as usual, but out past Pluto, a second star drifts slowly in a wide orbit. You'd barely notice it most of the time. From Earth, it might look like an unusually bright star in the night sky, brighter than Venus, but not quite a second sun. Romantics would write poems about it. Astronomers would study it obsessively. The danger here would come every time this companion star swings closer in its elliptical orbit. It would gravitationally disturb the Oort cloud, the distant shell of comets surrounding our solar system, flinging comets inward toward the inner planets. Earth could face increased impact events every few million years. Some scientists have even proposed that our own sun might have a hypothetical twin called Nemesis, potentially responsible for periodic mass extinction events on Earth. We haven't found it. But we haven't definitively ruled it out either. Two suns mean more light, more heat, more gravitational complexity, more chaos, but also more wonder. The universe is under no obligation to be simple, and a two-sun Earth would be the ultimate proof of that. Life is tenacious. It finds a way in the deepest ocean vents, in frozen tundra, in acidic hot springs. Would it find a way under two suns? Maybe. But it would look nothing like us. And honestly, that's the most exciting thought of all. If you want more mind-bending space science like this, subscribe and hit the bell. There's a lot more universe left to explore.